What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first episode of a new series. Guys, I'm very excited about this, alright? This series is going to be a Europa Universalis 4 tutorial series. I am super excited to get into this. And why? Because this is going to be the start of a new schedule on my channel. And these videos are going to come out twice a week, alright? In addition to some videos on the weekends. I'm very excited to get into this. I started playing Europa Universalis 4 when I was in 2014, and I have 3,700 hours in it, and it was suggested to me by a very important person that I try out maybe make it a tutorial series. So I'm gonna make a tutorial series. If you do not know how to play Europa Universalis 4, or if you just want to see, you know, some stuff that you don't know very much about, and maybe you learn something new, or if you know everything at all and everything there is to know about this game, and you want to just correct me and just argue with me on stuff, then feel free to watch this. I also want to ask you guys to go and click that subscribe button down there, like this video if you enjoy, and become a Patreon. You know, Patreon and chill, if you know what I mean. But anyways, let's get into it. So guys, if you do not know about this game is a good game. No, this game is a map game, alright? When I talk to it, when I talk about it to people that do not know what this game is, I say that it's a map game, alright? I like map games, but really it's a grand strategy game, alright? And it's quite complex in many ways, but we're going to break it down, we're going to go through, and we're going to explain many of the aspects behind the game. And we're going to play as a relatively easy country to play, so if you're just joining me and you don't know how to play this game, then, you know, you can choose the same country and we can have a good time. Some easy countries to play as include Portugal. Okay, Portugal's quite easy. We're not going to be playing as Portugal. They're like super easy mode. Castile is pretty easy for the most part. And then you've got England, which it's kind of medium start a little bit. France is a medium start, but if you can get through the start, then they're both quite easy. The Ottomans are super easy mode for the most part. Ming is pretty easy to play as, but we're going to be playing as Castile, which is pretty easy. So we're going to be going on that, and if you want to, you know, join us, then choose Castile. So the game starts in 1444. All right. You can see all of these stats. These are basically just telling you about the country at the start of the game. All right. At the start of the game, the ruler of Castile is King Juan II de Trastamara. I guess I don't know how to pronounce Spanish names, guys. I'm gonna be butchering this pronunciation so much. But then you see the technology levels and the monarch stats. We'll get into all of that, okay? Their kingdom rank, their Western technology group, their Catholic. You can see different stats involved with the game. You know, the religion, the culture, diplomacy, alliances, development, right? We'll get into all of that, so buckle up, because it's going to be a very interesting playthrough. We are going to be playing, and we are going to we're going to have a lot of fun, I think. So, and in this game, if you're not familiar with this game, you can play as any country in the world, alright? You could select any just tiny, you see Bosnia over there? You could play as Bosnia, right? You can go and play as Bosnia, and you can conquer the world. You can conquer the world as Bosnia, and have a, you know, a grand Bosnian empire if you want to. And, and that's the way the game works. It's very sandboxy in that respect. Not quite as sandboxy as Crusader Kings 2. But quite sandboxy. And by the way, I am using a couple of cosmetic mods, Starscape and whatnot, but nothing that actually modifies the gameplay. So if you play with total vanilla, then this is what you're going to be getting. I do have all the expansions, alright? So some of these features are going to be locked behind expansions, so if you don't have all the expansions, then your gameplay might vary a little bit, but not too much. So this starting screen just explains your starting situation. Shaped in the battles of the Reconquista, the Crown of Castile is in fact not just one kingdom, but a union of the kingdoms of Castile, Leon, Toledo, Galicia, Murcia, Jaén, Jaén, Cordoba, and Sevilla. I don't know, guys, I don't know. Under the Castilian branch of the Trastamara dynasty, What remains of the Moorish presence in Iberia is now restricted to the southern kingdom of Granada, still a rich Muslim sultanate in many ways, but also marred by infighting and the frequent border skirmishes with Christian raiders. So, you've got religion. Okay, we are Catholic. Alright. In early start dates, most of the Christian world is Catholic, but over time, reform desire. Yeah, we'll explain that. Government, we are a monarchy. Okay, there are a couple of different government types in the game. The three main ones, the four main ones being monarchy, republic, theocracy, and tribal. Okay. Oh no, well, there's steppe horde, but that's sort of like tribal. We'll get into that as we go along. And then you've got the Holy Roman Empire in Central Europe, and things like that. Northern Italy is technically a part of the Holy Roman Empire. That's going to come up later. Anyway, so we start the game. We've got all of these numbers, all these alerts and everything. We don't know what to do, but here's what we're going to do, all right? First of all, let's take a look at our army. These green number things, that shows our army from the start. We click on this little thing comes up. We see that we have 8 infantry and 3 cavalry here. 8 infantry and 2 cavalry right here. 2 decently sized armies at the start of the game. We are not going to need to move these around a lot right now, just because we don't expect to be going to war very much. But I guess we could move our armies closer to Granada, because eventually we're going to want to take on Granada. And by the way, I am using a mod that improves the pictures of these cities. So this is a lot of these are not vanilla pictures. They're very beautiful, by the way. Let's see, is there a picture for Paris? Oh, there is. What about London? That's cool. That's really cool. Anyway, so, oh, the terrain is London. Okay, well, this is, so this might not be exactly vanilla, but it's close, all right? This is very close. Yeah, the terrain is, like, interesting. All right, anyway, so, yeah, what we've got here is, I'm gonna have to get used to these pictures. Oh, that's just Gibraltar terrain. Interesting. But it's mostly what it was before. It's mostly the same statistics as it was before. Okay, so, here's what we got. We're going to move some troops over here. These are our navies, okay? And as you can see, we've got, 3 heavy ships, 10 transports. The transports are going to be able to transport your land troops to other areas of the world via sea. And we're going to probably use those a lot more later in the game, but not so much right now. These are light ships, all right? And you can fight with light ships, but they're not really for combat, all right? They can actually do many different missions. Now, there are a lot of buttons over here, all right? These are different commands that you can use for your navies. We're not going to go over all of them. We're going to sort of go over them as needed. But in the beginning, for our light ships, what we're going to be doing is selecting a mission, and then we go to Protect Trade, all right? Then it brings up this Trade Map mode. Now, these are different trade nodes, which is probably a lot to wrap your head around right now, but that's all right. So, we're going to just protect trade in Sevilla. I don't know exactly if this is the correct thing, because sometimes Paradox Math displays this this math incorrectly, but perhaps Safi? Actually, let's protect trade in Safi, actually, because it says we're going to make it a profit. Yeah, so let's do that. And now these guys will basically just, these guys will just kind of patrol around this area and protect trade, but really they're just moving around in that area. Okay, now we're going to take a look at our alerts. So first of all, we have to set some rivals, all right? Currently, we can see that our enemies, or the countries that have rivaled us, that have said, hey, you know what, we don't like you, you are our rival, we hate you, go die in a ditch, are England, France, and Aragon. So you know what, we're probably going to do the same thing to them. Aragon, you can see that that's their opinion of us. It goes down to, is it negative 200, I think? Or is it negative 100? I think it's negative 100. And then it goes up to positive 100. I think it goes up to positive 200 and maybe negative 200. I think. We'll see. Anyway. And you can see the comparison of our army and navy. And I don't know if this factors in technology and stuff like that, but anyway, we can see that they have a weaker army and slightly a weaker navy. So we'll rival them. Let's rival France as well. They have a way weaker navy than we do, but they have a stronger army, so we got to be careful of France. And then we got England, which has a stronger army and way stronger navy, and because England is, you know, an island kingdom, so they're going to have a stronger navy. But as time goes on, we will, I'm sure, fix that situation. Alright, we have free advisor slots. Do we have enough money for advisors? I don't know, maybe not. We're not going to focus too much on that, or the tax, or the buildings, because right now all we can build is forts. We don't really need any forts right now, not any extra ones anyway. Disputed succession, that's like the personal union thing. I don't focus too much on that. And a naval doctrine, so I guess we could just go with fleet and being. It's going to reduce our naval maintenance modifier. We could go with merchant navy for more trade power. Chance to capture enemy ships. I don't know. I think I'm going to do the maintenance modifier. Just have it cost less money, right? Alright, so we're going to unpause the game, and I'm going to start going over some of these numbers with you. Oh, also I want to make an alliance. So there's actually this diplomatic macro builder. We could go in and like check all of the other countries and see what their opinion of us is, but actually we're just going to click on this, and we can see that many different countries want an alliance with us. So we just click on it, click confirm, and now Portugal is our ally, which means if somebody attacks us, then most likely Portugal will join and they will defend us. Now that's not a guarantee, because sometimes Portugal may be in a lot of debt. Maybe, you know, we recently did something that Portugal doesn't exactly like. Maybe they are starting to distrust us for some reason because of an event. We don't know exactly, but let's form an alliance probably with Brittany, because that might be able to last a little bit of a long time. To be honest, I've almost never played as Castile, so I don't know a whole lot about their starting position. This royal marriage thing is just to kind of cement the alliances. Alright, and Brittany's offering it to us. So, alright, let's go over these numbers, alright, because there are a lot of numbers over here. It's a lot to kind of wrap your mind around. The three most important numbers here are these right here. Your administrative power, your diplomatic power, and your military power. Now, wow, our heir sucks. I remember this. Enrique de Trastamara. You're getting pop-ups about everything. I'm not going to really point anything out unless it's really important. I want to disinherit him. 50 prestige. I don't care. Alright. So, is that going to trigger, like, the Castilian Civil War? Oh. We have an heir. Oh, gosh. Weaker than 80, female heir, or a Regency Council. Alright, we'll see. But, anyway, so, these three things are referred to as monarch points, and that is because you primarily get them from your monarch. Of course, republics will get them from the Doge, like, for example, Venice is, you know, Serene Doge, Francesco Foscarini, and so he's getting 444, whereas our king is 112, so not that good. It's kind of like a way to measure your monarch's ability. So France's king is 424. England has a 000, which is horrible. You know, and so you can see Ottomans have 646. This is part of the reason why the Ottomans are easy mode. We've got the remains of the Byzantine Empire, which is 222. Johannes the 8th. Ioannis the 8th, Palaiologos. And then Konstantinos Palaiologos. You've got the Mamelukes over here. Anyway, these are your points, and I'll go over, you know, you're going to see that a lot of things cost a certain amount of these points. Are we focusing on something? Oh, we're focusing on military. We might want to hire some advisors. Like, we might need to. Let's go with some production efficiency here. And production efficiency is just going to gain us more money. That's basically all you need to focus on right now. Diplomatic reputation makes us more appealing on the diplomacy front. And land maintenance modifier means that we pay less money for our army. So, yeah. So, aside from the monarch points, which we've now boosted using advisors, keep in mind these only give us an extra 1, okay? You can promote these. You can hire up to 3, hire up to level 3, and then you can promote, if they're your primary culture or an accepted culture and your religion, you can actually promote them up to a level 5 advisor, which is insanely good, but it's also insanely expensive. So, keep that in mind. Wow, Poland did not get a union with Lithuania, which is very rare. Kind of interesting. France got control over Maine. Alright, so, oh, we've got this thing. I guess this one's alright. That's fine. Anyways, now we've got money. So you may have already seen that that's money. I mean, that's pretty easy to see. It's got the gold. And if it's got a plus, that means you're making money. If it's got a minus, that means you're losing money. All right, pretty straightforward, right? We've got manpower. That's how many people can join our armies. We've got sailors, all right? That's how many people can, you know, be in our navies. And as our ships are out at sea, they're going to cost sailor maintenance. You can see currently you gain 19 a month and use 5 sailors on missions. So, and use 5 sailors on missions. So actually, it's going to only grow by 14 per month. So watch this. When the month ticks over, when it turns into October, watch this. It's going to turn into, what? 1,196? Watch. Watch. Yeah, 1,196. It's actually 97. I don't know why it went up by 1. But you get the point. So we would gain 19 per month if these light ships were not protecting trade, but these light ships are out. Now, if we move these 13 ships out, then it's going to cost more. So watch this. Now it's costing 27 per month, which means we're actually going to lose sailors every month, and eventually the ships will start getting damaged through attrition because you don't have enough sailors to take care of the ships. All right? With the armies, it's a little bit different because armies don't inherently cost anything in manpower. They just cost money. Same as navies. Navies also cost money. Don't get it twisted. But if an army takes casualties, then you replace them using your manpower pool. So I'm getting 236 manpower per month, but then if I took some casualties in a battle, then a bunch would come out, and it's not instantaneous because it's based on supplies, and if you're in enemy territory, then it's going to be less. I believe the limit is like if you're in your own territory, then it will replace double what your monthly gain is. So I believe that. Oh, actually, I don't know. It might be a certain amount per regiment. And when I see regiment, it's like each of these 1,000-man regiments. I actually don't know what the limit is, but either way, it's going to replace a lot more than you're actually gaining. So you're going to be losing manpower when you take losses in combat. Next one is stability, and this is a scale. This measures national stability. It's a scale from -3 to +3. +3 is very difficult to reach, and you know, except for theocracies. Theocracies tend to be very stable. When your king dies, king or queen dies, you lose 1 stability. If your king dies in battle, then you lose 2 stability. If your heir dies in battle, then you lose 1. Usually if your heir dies, then you don't lose any stability, but if he dies in battle, then you lose 1. Then we've got corruption. Currently it's at 0. Now corruption will increase power costs of like everything, but the positive of it is it reduces your unrest, so you're less likely to have revolts if you're a very corrupt country, which is kind of strange. I don't really know why, but there is kind of like a positive thing about corruption, so maybe it just kind of like helps countries. It's kind of like to balance it out a little bit. Oh, cool. An event. Good event. see a lot of green numbers, that means they're good. After that, it's stability. Now, this is a scale from negative 100 to positive 100. All right? And a call to arms. So. Oh. Well. So, here's what happens. This is a call to arms because I allied Brittany because I thought that France would not really be attacking them. How big is France's army? Let's see, rivals. France has an army of 29,000. Actually, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on this. We're gonna lose 25 prestige, which is bad. So this prestige is going to affect our morale of armies. It's just generally a bad thing to have negative prestige, but it slides from negative 100 to positive 100. If you're familiar with CK2, I've heard this very good comparison about prestige between CK2 and EU4. Is that prestige runs like molasses in EU4 and water in CK2. So in CK2 it's very easy to get very, very high amounts of prestige. You could get thousands and thousands of prestige over the course of just a couple of years or a couple of decades or something like that. But in EU4 it's much more difficult. In CK2 you might get, 20 per month or something like that. Well, in EU4 I'm gaining 3 per year, so it's very slow. The next one is legitimacy, and it's sort of like how legitimate the people view your monarch, and that's going to affect your national unrest and your tolerance of different religions and things like that. Basically, and it scales from 0 to 100. Okay, that's the important thing. So it's below 50, and you're just going to stop seeing the positive effects, and you're going to start to see the very negative effects. All right. And then the last one is power projection. Power projection has some good modifiers. I can't remember exactly what they are, but they're mostly minor. The key values of power projection are if you get to 25, you get an extra general that you can hire. And if you get to 50, then you get an extra 1 of each kind of monarch point, which is very, very powerful. It's like having an extra advisor for each category. So those are the numbers. Then you've also got your envoys, which are envoys, I don't know how to pronounce it. But you've got merchants, which we've got 2. You've got colonists, which we have none because the colonization game is not really started yet. You've got diplomats, which we have 3, and we actually need to be improving relations. Neighboring countries? How about 1 to allies, and then maybe 1 to neighboring countries? Maybe 1 to threatening countries. Apparently it's improving relations with Austria because it thinks Austria is threatening. So your diplomats will actually automatically do stuff, and then we have a free diplomat to like declare war or do whatever we need it to do. And then the last one is missionaries, and we use that to convert religion. So this is the religious map mode. As you can see, most of Europe is Catholic. We've got this little tiny holdout of Islam in southern Iberia, and we'll eventually be getting to that. Romans invasion? Submit to Romans rule. What? Oh, Moldavia. I thought that was Albania for some reason. So, Poland make Moldavia a march. Alright, so Moldavia is a march to Poland. Wait, what? I thought they were a march. It says they're a vassal. Anyway. Alright, so, well, in marches and vassals, those are different kinds of subjects, which, of course, we'll get into in time. Alright, so let's look at the different tabs. We're going to go over the different tabs in this thing. And again, it's a lot of information to take in. I understand that, but it'll become more and more relevant as time goes on, so, we'll come back to it. This is our court, okay? You've probably seen this. This is where we can see our advisors, our king, our heir, and queen consort. So if our king dies and the heir is not 15 or older, then the queen consort will actually rule until the heir comes of age. If we have no queen consort, or if the queen consort dies while she's ruling, then we'll just have a regency council. And it'll be kind of like a council of nobles that's sort of like ruling the country until the heir comes of age. If we have no king and no queen consort and no heir, then you just get a completely different king of a completely different dynasty. So, and it may very well be a dynasty of another country. So that would be a little bad, but next one is government. All right, we can see that we are a kingdom. We don't have any like special things involved with our monarchy. There are government reforms, which we could change to autocracy. Right now we have feudal nobility. That's fine. I mean, autocracy probably would be better at this stage, but that's fine. This is kind of a new system of government reform, so this value builds up over time, and I'll turn my volume down. This value builds up over time, and it allows you to kind of like slowly flesh out your government form as time goes on. Now you can become a republic. You can actually become a theocracy, which would be cool. We might want to do that later, but it takes a very long time. Okay, so that's our government. We can strengthen our government. We could spend military power to gain 10 legitimacy. Now, that's, you know, because legitimacy is kind of hard to get, but if we spend military power, we can gain some. So there's that. There's different modifiers here. We can also check all the different modifiers. So if you're like wondering, hey, why do my troops cost so much? Then you would go to like land maintenance modifier. Where would that be? L. You go to land maintenance modifier, and oh, it's minus 10%. And why? Because that's a name. That's actually my advisor here. See? So that's showing you. Then there's diplomacy, and we can see here, like, all the different countries' opinions of us, and we can actually search for a country if we want to. I don't usually use this very much, but you can. You can also release countries, so you can release Galicia or Leon, and they'll be like your vassal. You can also choose to play as them. If you want to play as a different country, then you can start as this country and then release them. Robber barons. Okay, this would be... Oh, I don't want... Oh, no, the nobility is very influential right now. Alright. Again, I'll get into more of that as time goes on. Then the next one... Oh, no. I actually want to go over this more. You can see your interactions with other countries. So, for example, Aragon... we could declare war, right? We could try to form alliance, form a coalition if they're, you know, getting too powerful, things like that. Offer our army as condottieri, which is kind of like mercenaries, where we control the army, but we're fighting in their war, and they're just paying us money. And if we lose the war, then we don't lose any territory, we just gain the money. Truce with Granada has ended. Cool. Now we can actually declare war on them if we so choose. But we don't have a casus belli. See, a casus belli stands for case... It doesn't stand for... It means, in Latin, case for war. It's not required, but if we declare war with no casus belli, then we lose 2 stability. And now, losing 2 stability is really bad, because as you know, stability only scales from -3 to +3. So, if we've got 0, it's going to go down to -2, and that'd be really bad. Also, it would increase our aggressive expansion by a lot more. Aggressive expansion controls whether or not people can join coalitions against you, and if it's over 50, they will. They can. They can't if it's below 50. Oh, they will if they think you can. If they think they can take you. If you're way, way too powerful, then they won't join the coalition because they won't think there's any point in it. We need to actually form a spy network here, and I'll explain that. But you know, different influence actions. We can improve relations with people because remember we sent our diplomats to automatically do that. And then dynastic actions, we can offer a royal marriage. These are different spy actions based on the spy network. Economy actions, we can send them some money. If we go to send gift, we can make them transfer their trade power if they would agree to it, if we're threatening to them. Give subsidies, sell a province, charter company. Actually, I did not know that. That's a new thing, charter company. Okay, and then access is just like if you need military access through a country, okay? And now the reason we're building a spy network is that we want a casus belli because we want to declare war on them and annex them, right? So they're currently allied with Tunis and Mazab. This is a diplomatic map mode. You can see blue is their allies. Okay, they're allied with these two people, so if I declare war on them, probably these two countries will join them. Alright. Yeah, you can see that they're hostile toward us. Oh, this is another view that's like... it's got a lot going on, but we'll explain that in time. Queen consort needs our support. Some distance wouldn't hurt. What? Maria has our trust. Who cares about a lowly advisor? Lose 35 admin power? I guess. But I need an heir, though. That's a problem. I need an heir. I don't want the Queen Consort to be ruling. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I don't want a Regency Council. We gotta make sure the succession is secured. Okay, our only level 1 option is land force limit, which we don't need force limit, but we'll take it for the extra military power. And we can't pay for a level 2 advisor right now. We're not rich enough. We gotta be making a lot more money for that. Okay, so I'm going to end this episode right here. I'm going to explain more of these tabs, like the economy, trade, if I can explain trade, technology, and all that stuff as we go along. But guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, join the Discord server, and Patreon and chill, if you know what I mean. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.